Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn what are the different ways to write a CSS code in our HTML file. Okay, generally we have three ways to write our CSS file in our HTML file. And first one is inline CSS, and second one is internal CSS, and the third one is external CSS. These are the three ways that we are having to write our CSS in our HTML file. Okay, let me proceed further. Okay, let me open the Visual Studio Code first. Okay, this is the HTML file that we both created together till the previous video. This is all the coding environment. This is the code that we made together till the previous video, and the result of this code is here. This is the basic static website that we both created till the previous video, right? Yeah. Okay, and this entire thing we referred as header of the page, and remaining thing is considered as the article of the page. In the article we consider this stuff as the header of the article, and the bottom down element is referred as footer of our website. We are using some entity to create this copyright symbol, and this is the basic website that we both created on our HTML file. And to give a more styles to our website, we need to use some CSS files in our HTML file. Okay, in this video we are going to see what are the different ways to add CSS in our HTML file. Okay, let me open our Visual Studio Code editor. For suppose this is the main title of our website, I need to change the color of my title. For that, in an inline CSS, the first way is inline CSS. In an inline CSS, we have the entire CSS in our HTML file only. The basic thing is, before CSS, this was the only way to apply the styles to our web page. Okay, but this is not an efficient way to write, as it has a lot of redundancy. See here, in the h1 tag I am including one attribute like style. Okay, within the attribute I am giving my element as color. I will choose the color as dark red. Okay, I am giving a quick save for here, and when I open our website and giving a refresh to it, see here, the color of our title will be changed. Okay, here we just included one attribute style to our h tag, right? This is known as inline CSS. Okay, this is known as inline CSS. It is the self-contained. Okay, within the same HTML file we are using the CSS. This is known as CSS. Okay, within the single HTML file we are considering the CSS features, like we are using as a attribute. The style is the CSS attribute. In the HTML we are considering it as a attribute for the h1 file. Okay, and it should be uniquely applied to each element. That means if you want to use that another CSS element for the paragraph, so we need to include that same style for this paragraph, like style equals to color, like I am using aqua color for this para, and if I give a quick save over it, and after opening and giving a refresh to it, see here, the color of our para will be changed. But this is not a good way to give styles to our web page, because it has a lot of redundancy. Okay, the idea of separation of concerns was lost. Okay, let me revert me back to our original code. Okay, this is our original code. This is the one way to write our CSS in our HTML file. And the second way that we have to write our CSS in our HTML file is internal CSS. That means we can include the entire CSS in one style tag. Like if we create a tag with the name style, between the two opening and the closing tags of this style, we can include all the CSS code. Okay, within the head we need to include one style element. Okay, within this opening, between the opening and the closing tags of our style element, we can include the entire CSS code. And this way of writing our CSS on our HTML file is known as internal CSS. Okay, with the help of style tag, we can apply styles within the HTML file. In this, the code redundancy is removed. Okay, but the idea of separation of concerns still lost. Okay, that means it should be applied uniquely on a single document. Like we have already learned the basic rule of the CSS. For example, if I want to add some color to my h1 element, I can give my color like this. I want to give like brown color for blue violet. Okay, after giving a save to this, I'm opening my website and giving a refresh. Here is the change. This is the color that we included in our HTML file by using internal CSS. Okay, this is the way of including our CSS into our HTML by using internal CSS. Okay, we have discussed two ways to create our CSS in our HTML file. And the last and the important way that we need to include our CSS into an HTML is external CSS. Okay, for that we need to create one new file. Okay, in this file I am giving my file name as style.css. Okay, after creating style.css, this is the external file. Okay, in this we can include attributes like h1 with a color. This time I will use I will use dark magenta. Okay, if I give a save to this, and okay, let us first see if there is any change in our page or not. Okay, I'm giving refresh. See here, there is no change in this title because you are giving external CSS file, but we don't have any connection yet. Okay, we don't have any connection to the HTML file and the CSS file yet, because the thing here is we are including an external CSS file even within the same project, but we need to link our HTML file to the CSS file by using link element. Okay, by using link element. If I use link element, and I will include the href as my style.css. We should include like this. And for example, here we need to include another attribute like rel attribute, that is equals to style sheet. Okay, this is the way of including our CSS file into our HTML file by using an external CSS way. Okay, with the help of link tag in the head tag. Okay, within the head tag we will use link tag. With the help of this link tag, we can apply styles to our web page by including the external CSS file into our own HTML file. Okay, in this we have to close it. Okay, I am closing it. Okay, see the change now. I am giving a save to it. After saving my file, I am opening our page, and if I give a refresh, and you can see the change here. the color of the oops concept will be changed. This is the way to include our CSS into an HTML file. This is the most important way that you need to learn for creating a larger and bigger websites. Okay, this is the good way to create any website. Okay, and the file saved externally is the extension of .css. Okay, please remember it. The idea of separation of concerns is maintained here. Okay, we can use different for different environments. We can use for para selector, we can use some code. Okay, we will see all of them in the next video. Don't be confused about it. Okay, by using this way we can add different elements to the different documents. Okay, I think we have covered all the three different ways that we need to know before moving further. There are three different ways. First one is inline, and the second one is internal, and third one is external. In inline we can include the entire CSS file in our single HTML tag. Okay, for example, we can include by using a style attribute. And the second way is internal CSS. In that internal CSS we can include the entire CSS file in our HTML tag within the head element. Okay, within the head block we can include the entire CSS file by using style attribute. If you use here style attribute, and within the style element we can include the entire code. And the third one is external CSS. We need to create one external file by using the extension of .css, and we need to include that external file into an HTML file by using the link element. Okay, with the use of this link tag we need to include that external CSS file into our HTML file. Okay, by in this link we need to use two attributes. One is href and the another one is rel attribute. Basically this rel attribute defines the relationship between a linked resource and the current document. Okay, this linked resource and the current document, it gives the relationship between this linked resource. Okay, this linked resource and this current document. It can be, this rel attribute can be valid on anchor element also. Okay, and you all know that href stands for hypertext reference. Okay, this is the hypertext reference. Okay, we will learn a lot in the next videos. Thank you.